Hi folks, and welcome to another quick process builder technical tutorial. In this edition we're going to talk about the forms capability known as ToDos. So let us look at a simple process. Here's our simple process, and let's add a step to our process, and we will call our step validate. Now notice here that it's a human task, which means that a form is going to be presented to a user, and in our form we've got two fields, somebody's name and somebody's social security number. Now the ToDos tab over here allows us to add a step within our form that is a step which we either remind the user to perform or we require the user to perform before we can make progress. So let's add a to-do, and we will call it check social security number. Our description, we will say check that the entered social security number matches the person's name. Okay, so we're going to make this a required to-do, and documentation, check with the credit company. All right. Now, having added this to our as a to-do, we now have our step, this human task step, and if I hit OK, now let me come over here, hit complete. Let me publish the app. I'm going to publish the app and then pause and come back again. Right, now that I have published the app, I can switch over to a new process portal. Let's pick a new process portal and log into my process portal. And we should see that the new app is now ready for us to launch, and it is. So I click on sample. That launches that task. We've got the validate step in our process. And now what I want you to notice, once it loads in a few seconds, is that here is our form, and we have our name and our social security number. But notice over here this to-dos section. What this is telling us is that we cannot complete this activity. If I try and complete it, it says, nope, you can't. You've got at least one more to-do to complete. And this reminds me that I need to check the social security number. And I get some documentation on how to perform this, and now I might take the person's name and their social security number and manually check this using some kind of credit company. And then when I've completed this data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, now I can click this checkbox, and now this to-do has now been done. And now I can complete the task. If the checkbox had not been checked, if I tried to complete the task, it would tell me I cannot make progress. But if I check off this activity, I can now complete the task. So we can imagine a human being having a set of to-dos relating to a work item, and those to-dos are then reminders that the user has to perform some manual steps, and only when they're all been checked off can we move on to the next component. So again, looking at this from the process standpoint, we have a step in our process, and we can add as many to-dos as we like, and each to-do has to be completed before we can complete that step of the process.